Now, I really hope everyone watches and enjoys this video. The great news is that this information is now mainstream. The Satanism in the music industry and television and the entertainment industry, people are talking about it, people now are aware. It used to be kind of like hidden and secret, but now it's the minority that doesn't know what's going on. But just for them, I'm going to make this video, because there's still a few people out there that need to know what's going on. Now, I made a separate video. I posted it over on Rumble. I can't get into my YouTube right now, but even then, I'm worried that they would probably claim that this is copyright and give me a strike and close my account, even though it's not copyright, and you're totally allowed to post pictures or video and talk over it completely and do a commentary or use it for educational purposes. I made an amazing video about Spirited Away, or it was about Howl's Moving Castle. Awesome video. It was like 40 minutes long, had like 2 minutes of a clip that had no audio and I talked over it, and they claimed copyright. And it was all totally educational, so I did claim a countersuit. I put in my address. I'm already having to go to court and sue like 3 different people right now. So because of that, I'll be really glad if Disney wants to come after me too. Come on, bring it on, bring it on. I just need more, because I'm going to win. Everything that comes against me now, you come against a chosen one and God's anointed, you're going to lose. So, Disney, come on, bring it on. Come on. I'll just add you to the rest of my family and the scammers and everything else I'm dealing with. I guess I'll go to court with you as well. And any human that is watching the video will clearly see that it's educational and not a copyright infringement, it's fair use. Now, this information here is mainstream now, but I'm going to go a little more in depth and, just describe things in a way where it's giving you more context and more knowledge about how it works. So you guys, if you follow my channel, you might be aware that I was married to a hybrid being. I was married to demons, but I was mainly married to a serpent Nephilim. And what a serpent Nephilim is it's half human and it's half Leviathan angel. So if you've ever read the Old Testament, if you've ever read your Bible, then a third of those angels did not listen to God and fell to the earth. And their punishment is clearly described in Genesis, is that they were having children with human women. So they usually don't cover this in church. It's kind of a secret topic, but they really should, because this is the root of all the evil we see in our world today. They're walking around, they look like humans, they're marrying people, they're having children, they design our television shows, they own like the music industry, everything of importance and value. Like, they promote corporations, they kill businesses, they decide what is made where in what country and who goes to war. They decide everything. And also, these Nephilim are world leaders. They are kings and queens, princes, and they are famous people. Many of your actors and musicians are also Nephilim. They might have started off as a human, but when that human sells their soul, then oftentimes the human isn't even there anymore, and what you're seeing is a Nephilim that very much walks around on the earth, and they're overlaying their body with some type of hologram to make themselves appear as that human that they replaced. And this is the case with me. So my ex-husband was a serpent Nephilim, and this is, Travis Scott's profile picture on YouTube. So this is Travis Scott's profile picture on YouTube. And I could zoom in a little bit. There's really not much need to though. Let's make it bigger so you can see it though. Yes, this is his official profile picture. And I believe that he is telling us that he is also a serpent Nephilim. The serpent Nephilim has a human-like body with arms and legs, and it stands, and mine was about 6 foot tall. And they have a round head. So they look almost like a human, but mine, in that case, the human head was more narrow, but the serpent head was larger and round, and he had large yellow cat eyes. In this picture, the eyes are closed, but I can guarantee you if they were open, they would be bright yellow with small black pupils. And you can also not see his ears, because the serpent Nephilim did not have ears, and it did not have hair. So if we look in this picture, you can't really tell if he has hair. and you can't tell if he has ears, and you can't see what color his eyes are, but you sure as heck can see the color of his skin. And having seen the serpent Nephilim, their skin is this exact shade of green. Not only did he make his skin green, he made it the exact shade of green that the serpent Nephilim, which is half Leviathan, half snake, serpentine, sea creature, demon. Okay, their skin is that color, and in this profile picture, his skin is the same shade. Guys, you don't forget this when you see it. And the background is also red, which we know it represents evil, like the devil, hell, but I think it really is supposed to represent blood. But if I just saw this picture, then I would think that he's trying to look like a serpent Nephilim. And their scales are very small, like almost like pores. So you do see them, but zoomed out this far, you wouldn't really see them. They stand, they walk around, they have fingers just like humans. And so I posted a video previously about where these Nephilim hide and where you will find them. And I posted this a few days ago. They will hide in a large group of like about 50 Satanists. So you'll find a group of humans, about 50 like atheists or Satanists or people, they don't have any religion, but they do the devil's horns, and you know, they'll maybe dye their hair blue or purple, and they don't like the Bible and they don't like God, but they really could be completely neutral to religion, but they dress in that costume, and they never would try to cast out a demon. So these are the groups that the serpent Nephilim will reside in. That's their safe haven. And in this video, there is a particular scene where he is surrounded by like 50 humans doing the devil horn symbol, and then it's him. So you'll find this in every city and every town. I made a separate video about that, on where to find the serpent Nephilims. You normally have to find this while they're young, because as they get older, they don't have any more friends. But in order to make it through childhood into adulthood, they have to surround themselves with these groups of Satanists, or they would be cast out and they would be rejected and destroyed. So it will take a group of 50 to 100 people at least for them to make it to adulthood and to start their mission. And this is their safety net. It protects them. And within that group, one serpent Nephilim will hide. And so I posted a video of a group of Satanists where I know that there's a Nephilim in that group. We are in the end times, people. And they don't go after everyone. You might have a short-term relationship with a Nephilim, like a couple months. Okay, that's like really very common. Almost everyone has that these days. They have a very short-term fling with a narcissist or Nephilim. Almost everyone has that now. But you're not their target. You're the side piece they use to make you sin, but you're not the main target. The main target is someone who is normally identified as a teenager and quickly betrothed and married. So normally this is planned out when a baby is born, it has a bright light. They have an important mission from God. Here at the end times, we have the sacrificial lambs and the chosen ones being born. And the spirit realm, the demons can identify them as soon as they come to earth. And so they're identified, they're tracked, they're watched. And what they like is recorded, their personality is recorded, the schools are involved in this. And in my case, when I was 17, then I was approached by the Nephilim from afar. And I was basically hooked up with him. Within a month, he was wanting to marry me. And then we were together for more than 20 years. Until God said it was enough. But actually, I could see in the spirit at that point. So it was just kind of like, wow, you know. I was like seeing what the demons could do and how they behaved. And it was not a good marriage at that point. But anyways, I know how this works now. There is one main target that they go after. They go after certain individuals. And they will have as many side pieces, as many hookups as possible. They especially love gay relationships because it's like an extra sin, I guess. And, yeah. So they'll just have an entire friend group. They need 50 to 100 regular people that are disbelievers or lukewarms that will just go along and sit next to atheists. They need this in order to make it to adulthood. And that's what they will have, and that's where you'll find them. So there aren't as many of these narcissists and then these Nephilims as you would think. They just get around. They are busy nonstop, every day trying to cause someone to sin. And this is what they look like. Now mine had large, like this big, like bright yellow cat eyes with black pupils. And a long tongue that it wasn't apparent all the time, but when he spoke, it came out of his mouth. And it made like a ticking hiss noise. It was really cool. And he was this exact same color. So, this whole video is extremely satanic. And when I say you'll see the group of 50 people, like at a wedding, making the devil's horn symbol, like hailing Satan, do not hail Satan, okay? The devil is a weak coward. The devil is a weak coward. And like, you know, you'd have total authority over them if you believe in God. But, I guess if you don't and you reject God, you have no authority, then they claim authority over you. It's your choice. Now, let's see. I'm going to talk about Satanism in the music industry. And I'm using this video here. There were certain things that I did not cover in my last video. This entire video is just, it's the most satanic thing I've ever seen. It has a good beat, but I also think it's good. And the reason I like this video is because it's like a disclosure. It's so extreme, and it's like what you see in this is true. Like if you can see in the spirit, what you see in this video, they are showing you what really exists. And so it's so extreme that even people that didn't believe in the devil are watching this and are like, wait a minute, okay, so it's teaching them what is happening. And this sicko mode, in the previous video I made, I looked up the gematria. There are some interesting results. The whole thing, it's just showing you how the devils work. But see, here is the woman, the demon that is in hell. These things that walk around in the video aren't humans. They are the demonic satanic army that is coming against us. So, and it is showing you that, and it is showing you how that they are made. And this is something that I did not cover in the previous video. I should have thought it out and wrote down some points, but I didn't. So, this is what looks like a woman, but you hear she has red smoke, and she's dancing seductively. You know what red smoke symbolizes? The name Drake also you can put into gematria, and a lot of other famous people, a lot of other celebrities have the same result. So I think there's something to it, though. I haven't done extensive research, don't ask me, but you're welcome to research it yourself, and I hope that more people do. So this is the video I'm talking about. This is like the people that I knew as a youth, where I was even asked growing up, like as a preteen, when I would hang out with all different groups, and I'd hang out with the Satanists too, and to me it was just a fashion statement. Like, I like the black hair, I like the black clothes, I like the punk and goth stuff, just how it looked. But I did know God was real, and to me it wasn't religion. And I was asked by these people, what do you think about, you know, the Satanists, and do you think they really believe in the devil, or, you know, it's just fashion? And I said I thought it was just fashion. To me it was just fashion. And then they took that information, they didn't respond, because to them it wasn't just fashion. They were working on the other side against us, and they had ganged up and worked against a chosen one. My entire life I've been with this group of people, and just like the other group of Satanists that I've identified, and there will be a Nephilim hiding within, this is very similar. This is like the same number of people that surround a Nephilim here, and you notice they're all doing the devil's horn symbol, just like the Satanists and the group of people that I knew before, that used to be my fake friends as a young adult. And here is Travis Scott, and he is the Nephilim. You can tell he's a Nephilim because he's already shown you that he is the Nephilim. He's already shown you in his profile pic right here that he is the Nephilim. This is what they look like. They look very human. If they put a hologram over their body to look human, and they're walking next to you, they're hugging you, they don't like to hug, but you know, they're spending time with you, then they have to have a human-like body, or that just doesn't work. So they do. Just the head is much different. Oh, okay. You see, here's Drake going through a portal from hell, or a portal or a gateway to hell, or to the earth, as they're coming to earth, as we invite them and allow them. Drugs, of course, that's another way to get yourself possessed. I think we have some inverted crosses here. I love the visuals in this, and it has a really good bass. I like this song. I actually played it several times to test out my subwoofer. And I'm sorry, guys, like, as evil as this song is, it's like a good song. I like it. Here's the lights representing the angels, and Travis Scott's light has gone out. and he is dark, so that represents the fallen angel. And in this point of the video, he's talking about like what it took to get where he is, and he's going to pass it on to his daughter. As he grabs his chain, the chain around his neck, this is a chain, the chain of enslavement, and on this gold medallion will be the deity that he is worshiping, will be the fallen angel that has ownership over him, and he is a slave. The chain represents the chains of bondage. So he has the chain around his neck like a noose here as well. This is something else they cover in the video. They actually say, oh, crackers, wish it was a noose, or something like that. As he holds his chain, as he's talking about his gold chain around his neck, that is what the chain represents. It represents slavery. And here is like the angel with its light. Angels are represented by light. They're like falling stars. And it shows you the light going off on this light bulb. And then what you have left is just the shadow creature's body, is the jinn. So you guys know when an angel is in the sky, it's a being of light. And when it is wicked and evil, does not obey God, and it falls, it becomes the opposite. The opposite of light is dark. And so it becomes a shadow. And this is where you get your shadow beings, your shadow creatures, which these shadow beings are living in hell. They are not your normal demon. It is not your normal demon that was drowned in the flood. And that's how those spirits still exist. Okay, so you got your hybrid spirits. They did not have a place to go. They didn't immediately go to heaven or hell because they weren't like a created being of God. They were an ungodly hybrid. Because of that, their spirits just float around, or they can go to hell. They don't have to, but they don't have a body. And so what it's showing you here is something different. This is a fallen angel, and it will be represented by a dark shadow. And they give off an intense dread or fearful feeling. The good angels will give off a lot of love and positive feelings beyond what you can imagine. Okay, devil horns here on the bus. Where are they going? This scene, Drake spins around in a circle, and he is doing the OK symbol. The OK symbol is not really okay, but I guess it would be okay if the devils, if you did this. It is a 666, see? 6, 6, 6. And he spins around in a circle, meaning that he is, you know, like he's got the whole world under his control. Here's the gun symbol. He quickly makes the devil's horn. You have to slow it down and screen capture to see it. You won't normally see this. Okay, here's where his mask is being shattered, and what's under the mask is a skull, so probably the human being is dead. You have like a zombie here, or possibly a serpent Nephilim. So it looks like he's human. You shatter that, you see what's underneath this. He's already dead, but he's possessed. That's what the Nephilim is. Or this is just a hologram overlaying the body of something that is non-human. And then Drake falling from the sky, symbolizing that he's a fallen angel. And you see the stars, the shooting stars. When the angels fall to earth, they look like a shooting star. This is representing an angel falling to earth. And this woman looks really cool. She's doing like a dance. Like the way that she moves like this reminds me a little bit like Michael Jackson, but they both dance like the demons. Not all demons dance this way, but the good dancers do. And it's demonic, it's not human. Like the moonwalk, that's demonic. The way that she's moving is demonic. Now, I like how it looks. Like, it's hard to dance like that. Good job. But, yeah, they are showing you what to recognize. No, Sarah. This is the dance of the devil. So if you see this, then know that it's at least not inspired by humans. It's inspired by something very evil. Probably not the best to take part in. And then here's this woman, who's not really a woman. Like, they look human, but they're not human, and she's whipping her hair around. And of course, all they do is sit around waiting to seduce men and cause them to sin. But they seduce women too, so they don't have a gender bias. Anything that they can seduce, they will. This scene, this is really cool. I like this character. Now, this is like a jinn or a fallen angel. They are evil, they are psychopathic. when you have your serial killers, your murderers, your rapists, they are inspired by these creatures here. So I happen to know one of my daughters is one of these half the time, if not all the time, at least around me. She might be completely normal around everyone else, but when she's around me, this being takes over. I can recognize it, and I know how it behaves. It behaves just like one of these. Now this is like a jinn or a shadow being, like a fallen angel. They're not your normal demons. They actually like to torture, murder, kidnap, and they do love rape too. So they're not your normal beings. And how sweet it is that my adorable little daughter has one of these in her, and she loves to attack me, and normally she'll be like really nice to everyone else except for me. But anyways, this character looks really cool, and if you notice, like, it gets a thrill out of seeing people sin and involved in behavior that God does not like. But this creature shows up, so it's teaching you some information that normal people may not be aware of. This is either a fallen angel or a jinn, and they're not your normal demons. These are the same ones that influence people when they're on drugs. They're not the main controlling demons that are a narcissist. They're not the serpent Nephilims. They're something else. They are not highly intelligent, but they are psychopathic and sadistic, but they are more violent, so it could be a bigger threat. But I just think there's not as many of them out there. Most of the demons that are being used now are covert, so they can hide and go imperceived, but like, so people don't notice them and they think they're normal humans. So these usually aren't used here in the end times too much, because they look like your Ted Bundys. Like, they're very noticeable, and they can't hold a regular job. People would be aware. They would know right away that they were possessed or a very wicked, evil person. So they are just only used in very limited situations. As a chosen one, my daughter is one of these, or at least she's possessed by one of these. And this came from her father's side of the family. So I recognize it, and I know how to stop it too. If you guys want to know how to stop it, I'll post some other videos here. But when this spirit appears is when one of the women approaches Travis Scott to sell out. So she goes towards him to sell out, and she's trying to seduce him, like that's what she has to do to sell out. But no, he pushes her, or she falls into a pool, into a water. So it's an unholy baptism. And when she falls into that water, she takes the deal. Then you see this creature. And then you see something going through the water towards her. So this is when her body is taken over by this shadow being. And she's now possessed and controlled by her alter ego. So that's how these seductive fake women are created. The devil's army. So she approaches Travis Scott to sell out and to have a music career. This is about the time when he's talking about that. And then she goes into the water as a ritual. Then this being goes towards her, enters her, and she is now controlled by this shadow creature. And you see how they're mischievous, they're wicked, they're evil, and these ones like to torture us. So they're not as common because they can't even go to the bank without someone noticing. And then he's talking about his exes becoming a band. They're all wearing the red. We know Lady in Red, the Tempters, they're not human. Not that they're doing anything particularly bad, but this is about the time that, you see the other woman that tries to seduce Travis Scott to get a music career. She's pushed into the water, and then she's possessed by the shadow creature. You know that's the case as you see the camera zoom in towards her, and then the shadow creature was not seen previously. After she falls in the water, then you see the shadow creature appear throughout the rest of the video. Now, this scene is something I also did not talk about. Now, you see a lot of attractive women with large booties on the screen in this area, and this is the devil's army. And they're all laying on the ground waiting for a target to go and seduce or attack, and the seduction is an attack, because their goal is to cause you to sin and end up in hell. And don't be afraid of those that can kill the body on earth. Be afraid of the one that can destroy your soul eternally, which is God. So in this scene, you just see like a bunch of women laying on the ground wearing their G-strings with their butts out, like waiting for their orders and commands to go approach certain people, and they're not going to go after Satanists or people that are already damned to hell. You're going to try to go after people and have done more good than bad, that are believers, but they're lukewarms. People that are susceptible to their attacks. They're going to go after true believers too, but it probably will fail. There's very few true believers. And I'm talking about people that actually don't sin, or try to never sin, hardly ever sin. And they do pray, and they try to read, they just do what they can to follow God. So they would want to be a servant of God. Very few are to that level. Everyone else is susceptible to them. And as they're laying there on the ground, this train goes by. And the train goes by with this man's face on it, and he has a really low, I love this voice, it's cool, but he has a really low, like, kind of devil, like a satanic voice, like it's the devil speaking, and then you see this graffiti is speaking, the lips are moving. This is something I didn't previously cover, where this is what it looks like in the spirit realm. So if your spiritual eyes are open, sometimes you can just see demons manifest, and other people have different abilities to where they can actually see around them. They can see buildings marked with spiritual symbols when they can see in the spirit. They can see like the demons and powers and principalities that are controlling, certain aspects of society, like over a building, over a house, over a town, over a city. And in this case, the train has this graffiti on it that speaks, and it is sentient. And so this is how it would look in the spirit realm. This is the demonic power that is over this train here, and it is speaking in the presence of these female agents in the kingdom of darkness. These are not real women. And you see how they're made in the next scene, what I'm talking about. When another attractive woman approaches Travis Scott to sell out, and what happens is maybe she goes towards him wanting to just seduce him, thinking that's going to get her the job. But no, what happens instead is she goes through a ritual and is possessed by a demon. And now she's controlled by the demon. So it's not just like you kiss and you get the job. It looks like that's what she wanted to do. He had no interest and didn't kiss her. She falls in the water and gets possessed by a fallen angel. Or you can't be possessed by an angel, a shadow creature. And then we have, out of Travis Scott's mouth comes a rider on the black horse. And the black horse represents inflation. And that's not the only thing it represents. But essentially it's inflation, because it's the scales, like, what you get for your money. And so when it's speaking about, like, for a day's wages you get like a bread or a wine, it's basically saying inflation is so bad you work all day just to get a loaf of bread. So that's essentially what this is saying. And this is coming out of his mouth. This is what he is speaking, his spells. The spells that he's speaking, it's like pushing forward the inflation, and it's like speaking it into existence, is what the devils do. Now, you can counter that, and we have more power than them if we're on the side of God. Most people don't know it, and they don't use it, but you can at least pray. We need to be praying against this type of thing. As they cast these spells, and they use it in the music videos, and their spells are spoken and sung in their songs, and people hear it, and they listen to it, and they're not aware, then they're giving power to these beings into their spells. They're basically like helping them speak it into existence as they come into agreement with it. And of course, here's Drake. He's wearing red, which symbolizes the devil, and there's the red smoke coming out of the blunt on his hand. And we know that drug use is one of the easiest ways to get possessed. And here's Drake. You see him as a human, but you also see him as a pillar of smoke. So it's showing that he's not human. He has the spirit that is controlling the body. So that might not even be like Drake's real body. If there was a human there and it sold out, like, they don't even need the human anymore. They can use a hologram, or they can just walk around as Nephilim on the earth, honestly. And they've got like radio waves and technology they use and frequencies that can make things appear a certain way. So, like in the story of Job in the Bible, the devil is walking around the earth. So these beings are more physical than you might think. That fallen angels are physical, the devil is physical. It's only like the Nephilim spirit, the hybrid spirits, not the Nephilim, but the spirits that already died and they no longer have a body. Now, you don't see them, but there are other creatures that are alive, and they walk around just like us humans. But they make themselves, like a wolf's in sheep's clothing, they make themselves look like humans so that we don't know. But they're easy to recognize once you know the signs. In the beginning here, very cool, they're talking about the sun going down, and it's getting cold, but it looks like summertime. So this is like in hell, to where it's burning hot, but it's cold at the same time. Like, you don't feel the warmth of the sun. You don't feel, and the sun represents God. There's something else I did not screenshot. in this video. I think this is Drake. There's like Drake and Travis Scott in this. I don't know which one's which. It seems that Drake's actually representing the devil, and Travis Scott is a Nephilim. So that's what I believe. And I know how Nephilims behave. I know what they do. The main thing they do is nothing at all personally. They cause everyone else to sin, and every little sin you've ever did, they record, write it down, and try to turn you in and destroy your life. And they deceive. They tell the things that are truthful, but they frame them in a way that's deceptive. But I think this is Drake, and as he's walking down the street towards this town, and the color is Technicolor, which I'll discuss next. All the children are innocent. As they ride their bikes quickly to their homes and they close the door, they know it's evil and they don't want anything to do with it. It's the children that recognize this being innocent. But then you'll see a man, and he's quite a handsome man, honestly, but he's standing there, and he's okay with them coming in. And this is when I think it's Drake is talking about he's got his dog, and the dog is on the chain, and then it shows you the picture of the attractive black man standing there. And the attractive black man is his dog that he has on a leash. So the dog on the leash is the black man, who should be a respectable father caring for his community and his children. But then it says that he would do whatever this thing is. It doesn't specify, but he would do something very bad for a Louis belt. So you will notice, I think this is Drake. He's walking with a chain, and on the end of that chain is like one of those big pit bull bully dogs. And he's talking about that, and then you see the black man, who is a beautiful, strong man who could have done so much good, and instead he is controlled by this devil, doing its will, selling out, and going to hell. So here's the children. They know something's not right, so they're retreating to their homes and closing the door. But you see the color here is Technicolor, and this is like the colors in hell. In hell, the colors are less vibrant. There's less colors. And in heaven, there's more colors. Like, no one can describe. There's more colors. Like, yeah, we still have the red, yellow, blue, green, but, like, you know, there's more. Like, how can you say there's more colors? We still have the same number of colors, but there's, like, just more vibrancy. But the way you can maybe understand is this is how hell looks, and heaven is being the opposite of that, and the earth is in the middle. So just imagine this much more color. If this is less color than what we see, heaven is more color than what we see. So this is what the colors would be in hell if you could see them at all. Because usually you just see black or gray. There's just so much thick smoke. But what the colors they do have are like this. And in hell, like, everything tries to get you and tries to kill you. So like a tree, and then it tries to kill you and grab you. Like an apple, it tries to grab you and it tries to kill you. A bush, a house, and it tries to eat you. So everything tries to get you. In earth, things are neutral, and in heaven, everything tries to make you happy. So you want to go to heaven. Okay, so they're all afraid, they're fleeing, they're running away because the devil is coming to town, and his dog on a chain is a handsome black man who should be a great father and pillar of his community. But what have they done? In this video, he says, I tried to show him, and then you see it like just quickly skip through all the black people in the community, showing you how the black people are controlled by the devil, how their lives are destroyed because they listened to and followed the devil. The devil comes to town, and it's talking about loot, getting their bags, getting their cars. So that's what you sell out for, and you go to hell. And so these beautiful women are not women at all. Every female in this video is an agent for the kingdom of darkness. They're not humans. Every man is an agent for the kingdom of darkness. This is a wonderful disclosure video. So like if you watch a documentary on the way the devil works, this would be wonderful. Like, you should watch this as an educational video and then pray to God for your protection. And actually, you don't even need to pray for your protection, because just reject it and rebuke it. Just reject it and rebuke it. But by watching this, it teaches you how things work, it teaches you how certain powers and principalities work, and it teaches you like what you need to pray against. And once 3 pray together for the same things, it will happen. If 3 people pray together in agreement, it will happen. This is clearly outlined in your Bible. So I think everyone should watch this video. I think we need to watch this video. It says in the Bible to be aware of the attacks of the enemy. We need to know what they're doing. And this is one great way to know what they're doing, is to watch their media. Now, don't go out and have random flings with people, and, you know, don't sell out your life for a Louis belt, obviously. Look how stupid this is. But you can watch this video, see how things work, see what powers there are, and then pray against each one. And guys, I don't want to tell you what to pray about. I could make an educational video. But, you know, as just being a human, it's possible that you might come up with a better prayer than me. You know, maybe my prayer isn't ideal, and you could come up with something more effective. And if I tell you how to pray, then you will pray that way instead of a way that you could have come up with, or an angel could have inspired you, or God could have inspired you, that would have worked even better. But regardless, as long as you pray, and you pray against this, you're going to be doing a lot of good in the world. I've got some more pictures too, and this is not from this video, but it's from other things. So these are just some other songs that were appearing in my search result for songs with a lot of bass. Super Gremlin, of course we can see why this is satanic, and gremlins are satanic anyways, they're like demons. Doja Cat, I didn't really listen to like popular music, but she's got videos like with being a djinn, being possessed, selling out, and demons that are worse than this. But this video, most people aren't aware of that there are certain angels that look like this. So that's why I'm sharing it, because it's not as obvious. There are angels that look like these creatures, and they're usually transgendered. If they live forever, then they don't have a specific gender. They can wear dresses, they can be strong and have a sword. There's all different creatures, but they're usually not gendered. Some are, most aren't. And so there's also beings which many refer to as aliens, but they're actually angels. Angels would be aliens by their definition, that have no hair, that have blue skin like Avatar. These were modeled after real angels that exist. And they're the beings with the elongated skulls like my ex had, who was a Nephilim, and he was a hybrid family. He was from a hybrid family. They're all attacking me. Cool, lots of fun. But they do have a better existence than us in many ways, and yet they're still jealous of us just because we have children, and they don't even realize all the trouble that caused. So these angels look a little bit different than humans, but they are humanoid, most of them. Now, there's all different types of angels, but the ones in the scene are humanoid. And so if you watch an anime, it'll give you an idea of some of the creatures that exist, because they're copying what really exists in the spirit realm. It's more real than what we see here on Earth, but things that are hidden from us generally. There are beings with no hair. There are beings that have elongated skulls with blue skin. There are all different colors because the angels got to design us. God let them design us, and they wanted to make us look like them. Just like if you got to design a video character, you might want to give it the same hair color or eye color as you, you know? But one thing that I did notice generally is that like the arms are longer, and like the calves and the legs are just kind of stretched out compared to humans. So if you watch an anime and you look at the way that they animate these characters, and the females have like longer legs and longer arms and they look skinnier, that's because the angels are this way. They also have larger eyes. Now they exaggerated a bit more for these cartoons, but their eyes are larger than ours. So if you look at an anime character with large eyes, the angels' eyes that are humanoid are generally the sizes in between that of a human and an anime. So that's what I noticed. Okay, and we have masked wolf. They call the mask is something that the demons walking around in skin suits and fake human bodies. We say they're wearing a mask and they're hiding who they are. But here they have a song called Astronaut in the Ocean. This disclosure coming out as well. Astronauts are going to the ocean. They're not going to outer space. Okay, angels come from the outer space, and outer space is just the space above Earth, which we all know as heaven. This is heaven, guys. And these aliens are angels. Your Bible is true. Mask off. So when the demons walking around in human form behave the way they normally do, but they're not hiding it anymore, that's when we see mask off, and that would be the future. The future is what they want, is for the devil's army and the demons and Nephilims to be walking around the earth. They make them clone bodies, they make them like android bodies, machine bodies that they're using, and then to make you think they're human. Say it's a machine, then they can just use in vitro and technology, to implant a hybrid child in you, where they just tweak a few things. Anyways, mask off is when these demons display and show and behave the way that they really do, but now you see it. They're no longer hiding it. And see what is in this picture here? As you see, this guy here must be a Nephilim, or a narcissist. Narcissists can be various types, but many times they are serpent Nephilim. And he's got a prostitute in his car here, and they're making out while he's driving, and this is what they do. This is what they do, and they usually try to keep it secret, not tell anyone, and no one would believe it, because they're such great, upright, moral people. This is how they really behave. When their mask comes off and you see how they truly are, then they'll just be driving down the street in broad daylight like this, so that's what to expect. I don't think they're going to make it that far. And here's Bjork. Bjork is transforming, what is this, the hunter. This looks cool too. I like how this looks. She's got probably a cap on to make it look like she's bald, and then they use like computer AI, or something to make it look like scales are morphing over her head and just going up in various variations, and at one point you see her become a full bear. But this is how it looks when you see a Nephilim like shapeshift into their actual form. So when I saw my ex-husband shapeshift into his serpent form, it was like that. It was like his head spread out and expanded, and then he had little tiny scales, not big ones, but it was like that. It was like this video here, so you guys might want to watch this. And she could be showing you that she is Nephilim too. I said how the Nephilim come and walk around on Earth is they get a human to sell their soul. The human sells their soul. Now, then the demons and the devil has the rights to that body. So it's not just a possessed body. They actually make their own clones. They make their own machines. Or now they have their Nephilim walking around Earth, and they're using your image, because the image of that body, the likeness of that body, was then sold to them. And the cranberries as well. We know cranberries are red. We know what red represents. Here's the red trees. It almost looks like blood vessels and a heart. But anyways, this song is called Zombie. I'll show you guys. The cranberries. So, like, cranberries are often used in witchcraft as well. And of course, they're red, and the song is called Zombie. And then, who is this? And it looks like little angels at the bottom, but these could be fallen angels. They're kind of like that muted color too, like the creatures from hell, where you see less colors. This does look like a hell scene. So is this opposite of the crucifixion that it appeared like happened on Earth? We don't know what exactly happened. But yeah, here's the cross, and here's a female Jesus, and then here's a bunch of little impy type creatures, fallen angels. Hollywood is weird. The music industry is weird. They're a bunch of sickos. Like, they have something wrong with them, and what's wrong with them is they're demons. They're sadistic. Like, they don't even like adult relations. They love fast cars. They like adrenaline, but they don't even like kissing and that type of thing. They don't. The aspect of cheating that they like is that it's a sin. They get such a rush and a thrill, and they get pleasure out of sinning. Not them, but another human sinning. And here's my lovely dogs. And this is something I should make a separate video about. But one thing about the demons, God told me to fight them, so I wasn't sure what to do, but I would love my dogs right in their presence. And this is one thing to where they were so confused. Like, they would sit there and they would watch me love my dogs, and they didn't know what to think, and they didn't know what to do. It was almost like, wait, they're not bad, they love these dogs. And because many of these demons are half animal, so they were able to appreciate and like the dogs, even though they didn't love them. And so when they saw that the dogs loved me and I loved them, they would get confused, and for a second they would almost like want to stop trying to murder me and stop trying to destroy my life. Because some of these demons in the narcissist were half dog. And so when they saw me loving the dogs and the dogs loving me, then they almost like second guessed what they were doing and whether it was right or not. So that's just a great little gem here I'm throwing in the end. I hope you guys have learned something. Remember what the cabal does to control us, and they have really been destroying the black community. They've been destroying black families. And then they say it's cool to walk around like with your pants pulled down. If you guys know what that means, what that means is like in prison, when you're offering your butt to other men, okay, they would sag their pants. So that's what it meant. Like they were ready for a male husband. So that's what that means. So then they put it in the music as being cool, and then men will walk around with their pants sagging. It's like saying that you want to be butt raped, and this is how they make fun of us. And their chains, like the chains represent slavery. Like that's what they represent. And then they do this and make fun of you. They laugh at us. It is disgusting. They take everything good and they invert it, and they destroy and kill everything good. And they talk about babies' mamas in these songs and just everything else. And what do you get? You get a Louis belt? That's probably a counterfeit too. Just like it's a counterfeit human that you're dealing with, it's a fake Louis belt that you sold yourself for. Yeah, the black community has really been under attack, but like all communities are, and rap is, popular in all different groups, but it's not just rap. It's like all the music industry, even Christian artists have sold out or involved in this. So there's very few that are popular and promoted, that are working for God, that are on the side of good, but we are out there. And maybe I should think of a really compelling title for this video. You guys, we need to reject, rebuke, and do exorcisms on all this stuff. Like, I have a bunch of CDs I'm going to sell, and I know that it was used for evil purposes, so I'm going to try to do an exorcism over all my CDs before selling them. I think I need to do that. And if I haven't done it yet, then if I sell something before I ship it, then I'm going to bless it. I'm going to do a prayer over it, so it'll be safe, guys. And you can do this too. Doesn't mean like if you like a song that you sell your soul. That there are spells and curses attached to these things, and you can come into agreement with. You have to agree with it. So you could clearly just pray and say you disagree with that. It's not saying like if you like bass, you can still enjoy bass. But just denounce any principalities or powers associated with this, and reject, rebuke any spells that are cast over this disc before it arrives to your home. It can even be done digitally. It can be done digitally. Like if you watch this video, if you listen to this song, it can have witchcraft on it. It can have spells cast over it. So, but you can easily get rid of these, because the devil has very little power. But you have to exercise your authority and your power. And to do that, number one, is you have to be living a moral, upright life. And you do have to believe in the one true living God. Now, let's say you don't believe in the one true living God, then just do more right. Do more good than bad. And so then you're already on the right path. Guys, thanks for listening. I hope you've learned something. I'd appreciate any likes, shares, or subscribes. I need 500 to start earning money on this account, so if you share this with other people, maybe one day I'll be able to make 50 cents off my videos.